Hey everyone, welcome back. So in previous video we have seen how to upgrade our version from 7.6 to now 7.9. So now we are in upgraded latest version of 7.9, and there are a few changes that I told that we'll be discussing in this video. So let's explore. Now 7.9, what happened? Whatever we were writing the locators, uh, we used to add multiple awaits. So one await for locator and another await for any WebDriver IO related commands. Not just here, everywhere, right? So one await was for this locator, another await was for wait for display. That was before 7.9. Now in 7.9, the improvement is that you can chain your commands with single await. That means you can write this locator and dot click with single command. So now we don't have to write one more of it, and still it's going to work perfectly fine. So now let's just change it everywhere. Okay, and wherever we have, so let's change everywhere, multiple await we have. So just delete this, delete bracket, delete from here, and delete from here as well. So wherever we are using multiple awaits, now we are going to remove from every single place that we have used in our code. Okay, now so we're done from here, and now it's looking a little elegant, right? Better than what it used to be. So it is that is the improvement in 7.9. Major, I'll say, the change. So now if you need to chain three commands simultaneously, you don't have to write three awaits. One single await will suffix everything, right? Now let's just try this, whether after this changing here whatever I have done is working fine or not, and then we'll see, we'll be start implementing everywhere else, that wherever we have written in this way. So let's try to run this first. Npm test spec space and folder of the feature file name of this. Wait, so this is the file we need to run. It resides under test, under features, and then file name is waitx dot feature, and hopefully it should work fine. Yeah, so if you see, test paused, and looks like we are good, right? So nothing is breaking with this change. So that is a big change. Now what we will, let's start cleaning up a bit. We have kept all the locators here in step itself, so let's move it to page class. And what I'll do, I'll create a file under pages, waitx.page.ts. Let's name the class waitx, and what I'll do is split the window and then write our locators. It will be a little easy in that way. Alright, so now just copy all this locator from here, and I'm going to move all this. Okay, any other locator? No, that's it. I think we have very minimum locator. Now this will not be const here in the locator, it will be getter, and then bracket, return statement, and the closing bracket will be not here but here. We have already seen in the previous video how to create a getter, so I'm just doing the same way. There's nothing new here. Let's replace this equal to with return statement. There's nothing new here. If you're confused how this is working, you can see the previous videos where I've done it and I've explained as well. I'm just following the same. Yeah, now normally what I used to do, I was making this as a private and then create a public function, but in this case I don't want any other action. I'll just use directly, so I'll not make it private and I'll use it directly here. So now what I'll do, we need to import it first in this our test class. So let's scroll up and import it. Import, I'll give any name of the import. I'll say weight page, sorry, weight X page, I'll say. Example stands for X, and from src pages slash weight example, we using this import. Oh, sorry, it's showing error because we did not export it, so we need to say export default new and the class name again, which is weightx. Now the error will go away. Now let's remove this, and we need to say weightx page dot start button, and similarly let's remove this, sorry, yeah, let's remove both of these lines, and we'll say weightx dot loading icon, sorry, weightx page dot loading icon, and just going to replace wherever we have calling pages, so just replacing, I think, and the last one is here, right? Sorry, my bad, I'll replace this, right? So now all the changes is done and it's looking much better, right? So we have single await and we don't have to use it like multiple awaits and all right? This is how we'll be writing in the new. So now we have done the change in this one-step definition. Now let's try to implement everywhere that we supposed to. Now the first place we should be going is our util, where we have created this util for the purpose of handling this multiple await itself, so that we don't have to write in our test class multiple. As we don't have now multiple awaits, normally there is no use of these functions, but still in future videos I'll make use of these basic wrapper class functions, so that we can add loggings here itself rather than in multiple places. Again, that I'll explain the future video why we are still keeping it, but for now let's improve these awaits, because here also we don't need to write this await. Before updating, we need to understand now what is the type of this element. As of now we were expecting the promise WebDriver element, but it is changed now. Now just to understand what is the return type of any web element and web elements that we expect, we'll go to our page class, any page class. So let's go to secure, sorry, not secure, register. We'll have some error here. If you see here, many reds, right? And that's what we're going to fix it now. But just to understand, what is the return type? This is returning single element and this is returning multiple element. Let's see what is the return type of the single element. It is not anymore web promise WebDriver, it is chainable promise WebDriver element. Okay, this is the return type. So let's update that return type in our command here. So now this will not be promise WebDriver element, it will be chainable promise. Just update it here. We need to import it. Imported here, automatically suggested. I've just pressed control and space here. See, what I did, I kept my key here. Okay, after last word element, control space, and it will auto suggest you can just select it and it will auto import here, right? Now we don't need this multiple await, we need to remove it. And now let's do the same thing for the, let me just have some space here. I'll click on it. Now let's update this and this, and let's remove await, and from here as well. So this function is done. Now for this element, it expects multiple elements, not element, multiple WebDriver element. So we were writing one await here and then another await multiple places, right? So just to avoid multiple awaits here, we were writing one here. Normally what it's supposed to be, if you don't give this, your code will look like something this. Okay, elements, 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 and then await you need to write here as well, here as well, sorry, not here, yeah, here as well, sorry, not here, here it's just element, and here everywhere we need to write, your code will look like something like this. Okay, and here as well. So that's how your code will be. Length, okay, and you need to put that in a bracket. So this is how your code will be. but now because of change, first let's understand what is the return type of, or what is the expected type of elements. Okay, so I'll go to register page and we are using multiple locator here, right? Web elements. Let's hover this mouse and see what return type it is giving me. It is giving me chainable promise array and then element array. This is the type of, it will expect now multiple web element. Now let's update that also here. It will not be promise element array anymore, it will be, this is the type. Now we need to import both of the things, so I'll press control space in my keyboard and click enter. Same for this as well, click enter. These are all imports are automatically updated here. Now if you see here, it will tell you that we don't need to use C, there's something coming. Await has no effect on this type of expression. That means we don't need to use this await and this await too. So, right, I think we are good now. Everything looks good. Now let's go to our page class and see if we have any error. There was error here. Now the all errors are gone. We are good here, right? There is nothing. So we have, now that is the benefit of having wrapper classes or this anonymous lambda functions, that you don't have to change in multiple places, because we were using it in every page class. Fixing this has done the job for us. Now all our pages are up to date, right? So there is no error here, and if you run this code, it will work absolutely fine. But let's check one by one if we have used any other places multiple await in our page class. Let's remove this. This login page was created as a default test case, and we have a multiple await here, right? Now which is not required, multiple await. So what will be there? Single await. So let's just update that, fix the changes. That is, your code will look like this. And if you are starting recently, like not from some, last month or something, when the 7.9 is in market right now, and if you're trying to install, when you install your code, the first time when you do the setup, your code will look like this itself. You will not have multiple awaits because they have already changed it in the recent configurations. If you're doing recently, you will not see, you don't have to make a change. Your code will be already like this only. So this is for the people who is already working from some months, and they are working from 7.6 and trying to upgrade to 7.9. For them this change is there, right? Let's check register page anywhere we have used multiple awaits. Okay, rather than just doing multiple everywhere going, what I'll do, I'll just search from here, global search await and bracket await. We must be using like this only. So if we have multiple places, it should show. Yeah, we have here, you see, we are using this place multiple. So let's remove it and remove the bracket. Now here, as we are using a return statement, we don't need to use one more await, so you can remove this await. Similarly here as well, so wherever you have written with that, you don't have to use one more await. And I think we are good now. Any other place? I'm done with the change, but I'll just cross check one everywhere. We don't have multiple await here, and now we don't have multiple await here as well. In secure page, no. User page we did update, like here. Now we're good, and wait, X page we just created, right? So now we have fixed everywhere. We have upgraded our code to 7.9, and we have updated our change as well. Now just let's make sure whatever we have done the changes not breaking our code. So let's try to run one test case, which is our E2E, and let's make sure that it is working fine. So I'll run this file. So run file, I'll say npm test space hyphen space hyphen spec, and then the path of the file. So I want to run this E2E users. I'll say test features slash E2E underscore user dot feature. We're going to run this file, and we'll make sure that it's working fine. If something is breaking, we're going to fix it. So let's run it. Okay, there is something error. Let's see what error we're getting. It's saying features either user is not found, and it is there, right? We have done something. Oh, spelling mistake. Test. So it is test. When execution is started, let it execute and see if it is working or something is breaking. We'll fix that. So it's trying to execute and validate it. Something is breaking, I can see here, but let's see, we'll fix that if something is breaking. Second execution is happening because there is 2 tests in that. Looks like both has failed. Let's see what happened here, what went wrong, and we'll fix it. So if we let's check the error, it is failing at the assertion step. Okay, and it's saying expected this to contain, yeah, it should contain expected value must be string if received value is a string. So expected value is type of number but received is type of a string. Yes, so see how elegant the error code is there. See, though the received is 200 and it contains 200, but the type of that is number, whereas this type of string. So let's check in the E2E users assertion step. So our first assertion is somewhere here, and what it is saying, see, whatever you are getting is type of string. Okay, see, so when you, because we are doing get text, it is showing, right, type of string, whereas this status code is type of number, and that is where it is failing. So let's change it to string. I'll say to string, and I think there's another assertion as well which is failing here. There's the same reason, this is the string and this is the number, so I'll change this also string and should work fine. Let's try to rerun again. It's loading the website and it's trying to execute, and hopefully this time it should work. Let's see. Yep, and this time it worked, right? So there was just one change. I think what happened, they have done some changes in assertion. uh, they are checking the types also. Earlier it was not checking to type. So anyway, that's a good change, and we are like, we can show, because of the failure we know that if something is wrong, that is going to catch it, it's going to fail, and the code is working perfectly fine. So right, so with this I can conclude that we have officially upgraded now our code from 7.6 to 7.9. Every changes that is required to upgrade is done, and I think we are in a good shape now with 7.9 version, right? So we have using single await, we have updated our code, we have seen here as well that how we can use single await, and it is working fine with that all the upgrades. So right, so that's it for this video. In the next video we will try to see how we can implement JSON file as a test data source and read the data from there and then pass it in our test. As of now, we were passing everything in the future. We'll see how to use JSON file in the next video. Thank you so much.